Cindy with 85th and Wade. Thanks for joining me. Today marks my first participation in hashtag Friday Sews. It's a concept started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. Thanks, Jen. As an opportunity for the community to share updates on our sewing and life journeys in a more relaxed setting. So as a, I guess, update in my sewing journey, I think I suffer from a sewing medical condition. I've self-diagnosed it as squirrel brain stitching. Now, if these symptoms sound familiar to you, you may have called it something else. But here it goes. Do you suffer from continuously adding to your work in progress? Do you see a new pattern and instantly go download it, print it, tape it, and almost immediately begin to cut into your project? Or how about you start one project and then you watch a video on YouTube or elsewhere of someone making a pattern that you too also have, and so you abandon your current project to go grab an old pattern and begin working on that? If you suffer from any of these symptoms, you too may have squirrel brain stitching. Y'all, oh my goodness. Like, prime example. Today, Move Fabrics sent out an email blast. And included in that marketing email blast was the fact that they have 20% off their cotton. This isn't sponsored or anything, but they have 20% off their, I think, jersey cotton or cotton, one specific fabric. And it's like, okay, that's cool. So then you keep scrolling through the communication, and then, oh, there's a section for Mood Society, which of course is their pattern house. And they came out with a new pattern. And it's a jumpsuit. It's called the Luna jumpsuit. And it's adorable. And it was almost immediately, in the 5 seconds it took for me to see the pattern, like go to the website, click on the pattern, download the pattern, print the pattern, and start taping it together, pulling out fabric. Like, within 5 seconds, my mind was already there. Like, I had already started this project in my head. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I already have some works in progress that I need to finish. I have some plans for this month that I have to get done. Like, I can't start a new project or even begin to think about a new project because I have so many already to complete. It may only afflict new sewists, or maybe a certain number or a special type of new sewists. I don't know. Tell me below in the comments if you share some of these signs or symptoms. But it was just like, okay, pump your brakes, boo. It's okay. First of all, the pattern will be here tomorrow and days and weeks to come. So we don't need to get it right now. We don't need to try to sew it up right now. We don't need to figure out what fabric we have. We definitely don't need to go to the store and buy some new fabric so that we can make this Luna jumpsuit. So we've pumped brakes, we've taken a breath, and we've calmed ourselves down. Or all of that happened with me. But it got me to thinking once again about the cure that I think I've come up with to help me and possibly you with squirrel brain stitching. Okay, I want you to keep an open mind about this. Some of us may still be in denial that we even suffer from it, and so it's okay. We all get there in time. But I think I have a cure. Growing up, we played board games for days. Like, my stepdad, if there was an empty box of any sizable amount, it was turned into a board game. He would come up with anything, and he would come up with everything, and they were fun. It was just like, holy cow, okay, we've got games on top of games on top of games. Hence is why I have a chest full of board games, because I am a product of my environment. I blame it on my upbringing. Okay? But I figured that, with a little bit of gaming and still a little bit of planning, I could cure, I could reduce the signs and symptoms of squirrel brain, and hopefully not try to do all the things all at once. Okay, again, hear me out. Let's walk through this. So here's the idea. I know. It's ridiculous. Just wait. So I figured that I could find something that allows me to plan, but also have some spontaneity, that if there was in fact something new that came out, I could somehow incorporate it, but it wouldn't necessarily like throw everything off schedule or off balance or anything. So I found this. This is actually something that was at a thrift store, and it was like, aha, I've got it. Now I'm still a little torn on the name, or just unsure about the name. It's going to be Spin and Stitch, Spin and Stitch, Spin a Stitch. I don't know. If you have some suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I'm open to everything at this point. I want to somehow redecorate this here. I'm sure the people who designed this and the family that bought it thought this was a wonderful piece of art, and so I appreciate them donating this to the charity shop. However, we're gonna do a little bit different theme moving forward. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to try to pick off these round raised numbers, or just somehow use them in my new game board situation. But what I want to do is, I was thinking about first putting vinyl on everything, but when I looked up how to do that on wood, it was taking me through a whole lot of steps that I just really didn't want to do. So then my second thought was, maybe if I got some sandpaper, kind of roughed up the surface, then I can put some paint or primer or something down on it, let that dry, and then just some vinyl strips to segregate, each section, and that paint will, allow the vinyl to adhere to it, or, give it something to stick onto. So that's the thought, is to revamp the entire look of this thing, and with each section, so there'll be either 12 still if I keep these, or at a minimum I'll say of 8 sections. And what I'll do is, maybe a small piece of paper or a sticky note or something, it'll just say, M8624 or, B6679, and it'll have all the patterns that I want to undertake. And then I'll use either these hands that came with it, or I will swap them out for something else to kind of spin around. And then each time I finish a project, I will of course remove that one, and I can either leave it blank and just keep spinning till all 12 or all 8, whatever, are empty, or I can include, if a new pattern or something comes in, I can include that, or just already have some other patterns, in the coffer, to where when one comes off, another one replaces it. So again, leave suggestions in the comments below as to what you think I should do. But I definitely want to use this. I think it'll be fun in terms of, even on my weekly videos, I can spin it, or we can all see, what the next project is going to be. Now, I will say that I'll probably be in cheat mode starting off, in terms of, I'm only going to put patterns on here that I already have fabric for. I have a lot of fabric, so there's a lot of pattern options. I'm not worried about running out right now to get either new patterns or new fabric, but I just wanted to, just kind of gamify, I guess, just a little bit. Still have some planning, and of course, because it'll be seasonal for a while. Get out all the things that I want to make for this spring and summer, and then that'll also help me start to build back up for winter and fall as well. And again, be able to inject any new patterns that may come out, or I see somebody who made a YouTube video about a pattern I already had, I can, perhaps stick that in there as well. So again, the cure to squirrel brain stitching. I think I found it. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, so in terms of life, so I guess life is good, but I'm over being cold, y'all. Like, even this weekend, and I live in Tennessee, and they're talking about we may have flurries. I am so over being cold. I am so over the winter. Like, I am done, done, done. So if it could not snow, that would be great. If we could just move past the transition and go straight into late spring, early summer, I'd be even more happy, okay? But I am so over being cold. But I can't do anything about it, so I'll just keep wearing comfy sweatshirts to keep me warm. There's a lot of things happening, I guess, that I'm preparing for, I should say, over the next couple of months, and so I'm a little excited about some of those things. Can't really share them just yet, but excited about those things happening. Work is good, blessed to be employed, so no complaints there. Everyone in my family is healthy. We have not, thankfully, thank God, no one has contracted COVID. And so we are doing what we, can do in order to keep ourselves safe. And certainly hearts go out to everyone who's being affected by COVID, and as well as the other events that are happening in our time. And so with the life update, just, excited about what the future holds. And hopefully you share that optimism as well. Well, that's going to do it for me for my first time. I can get chatty. I can be quite wordy. So I'm going to end this now. But again, my first Friday sews. Please let me know in the comments below, again, what you think about the game, what's happening in your world and in your life. If you have any suggestions for names, or even suggestions for pattern. If you saw that Luna jumpsuit and you're going to jump into it, I can be influenced, right, to change my mind. So if that's one that you're saying, you know what, V, girl, let's do this, then I will by all means put it on my table this weekend. But at any rate, again, thanks everyone for joining me and walking through life with me on this sewing journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye.